continue. The Adventure of the Runaway Room.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night.
Gasp.
Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, "I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together."
Hey! Hey! I'm impressive?
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
Soaps.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In
Taxi!
that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's
Ta-da.
mighty capital, London.
February, 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. What an incredible place. It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. I'm sorry, it's a legal system and there's gears and shit, and I'm like, ah, the oratrice mécanique d'Annalise Cardinal. I'm sorry, the Genshin brain rot is strong. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since we've opened our borders to the outside world. Ah, that's fair. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. Certainly unfamiliar. I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What's this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san. in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. Yeah. You're dense, apparently. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time, if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. Nope. So instead, we're here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Aren't you smart? Which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer. Which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason we're here. To have you officially recognized as a lawyer. Wowie. It's the only way we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Hi. Whoa. Hi. You're intimidating. Oh. I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. Seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. You're also precise. You're intimidating and very time sensitive, I think. Anyway, hi. He scares me. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Miles Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Yeah, no fair. He's very intimidating. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse. Are you a mind reader, perhaps? Oh, It's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Emperor. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Do you have birds in here? Or were those outside? And if they were outside, how the hell did you scare them from in here? Ah, yes, thank you. He's just so intimidating. Alright, let's, converse! Hey! So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, help. I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. Simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh? We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets, some from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything's so impressive and grand. Must say I'm almost lost for words. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, and even cables supplying electricity. You can almost forget it's really, really, like, medieval almost. And then it's like, oh, cables supplying electricity. And then you just get smacked in the face. This is like the 1800s or some shit. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Susata-san. And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we'll be hosting here in London. Ooh. Great exhibition? Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. No, those are inside. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. Okay. Even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set on our great empire. Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a different opinion when the Americans throw tea around. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. Law student. Lord Chief Justice. I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Asogi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. It's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. What the hell is a consolence? I'm sure that's a word. Anyway, condolences. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news? Also to request a little bit of leeway. Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means this study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madam? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Hi. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo? This is it then. The moment of truth. Gasp. New dialogue option. Let's go. Continuing the study tour. Thing is, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country. And that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that's what I've been led to understand. Well, thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. He's very intimidating, I completely understand. Mr. Naruhodo. I could ruin things here, and if I'm not careful, what am I going to say? If there's someone else here from Japan who could be described from a lawyer, it's... me! I am not throwing Susato under the bus. It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say? And yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me. And I was the accused, but glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learnt all about British law and court proceeding. I can do words real good. Court proceedings while I was on board the SS Burya. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, but you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Because Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo, was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? But let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes? You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi plans to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Hey, new dialogue option. Let's go. So, what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news. Today? Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Yes. Good question. Ah, I remember. It's a murder trial. Dun dun dun! A murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy for you to say. But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably, you read that much in your short sea-based introduction to British law. We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die, depending on how well I perform in court. I believe in myself. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Isogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. Sip of beverage. Very important, because there's a lot of words. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? Well, if I say I won't do it, that's the end of the game, right? So, I'll do it. Alright then. If I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... I can't do it. I can't get the words out. 15 seconds. Your decision-making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. I was about to say yes! Dang it. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry, Miss Sato, but what could I do? It's all right. I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madam? think what Miss Susato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Ooh. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh my gosh. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, Why are words so hard today? If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. But that is the truth. You see, I was gonna do it anyway. Please, don't expect an answer to every question. The cold hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope? Yeah, I would presume so, because the Lord Chief Justice is saying so. Sorry, I gotta just... a little bit of a reset. Well, not a reset, but a little bit of messing with settings. So, what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But, in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Alright. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. He's gone. The Old Bailey. Oh, it's a clock. I'm dumb. It's been a clock the whole time, hasn't it? We're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo. We must leave at once. Let's go. February, 9:45 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. I was expecting like a 1 or something. I'm sorry. Hi. Oh, thank goodness we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. Never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Herlock Sholmes story, and it worked quite perfectly. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were gonna die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be in here, but there's no sign of him at all. So this is the Old Bailey, and this room for defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever's about to be sentenced. Feels like only yesterday I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Top of the morning to you, madam, sir. Hi? What are yous doing following me here? Things a fair desperate, are they? Sorry? Would ya look at those expressionless faces? From the east, are yous? We're from Japan, yes? Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do yous need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all well in a strange, faraway land. I have no idea what accent I'm giving this man, and I'm very sorry. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving yous 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. 1,000 guineas? Please, Mr. Sato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is... It's enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. Okay, that's a lot of money. 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I can talk. Thanks for the follow. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah! That hit me in the eye. Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, 'tis a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. I'll be in the dock. Well, there's our defendant. Found him. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Hey, no worries. Chief Justice sent us to defend you, it's fine. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is... Don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me. Nothing more. Otherwise, you see, The trial's gonna start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't making it all up. Oh, I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Blustering blazes! Do you not know who I am? Me? One of London's biggest names? No, sorry. We've only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London is another beautiful... Words, why are they so hard? Sorry? A park? What? 'Tis called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park? In central London? A city of smiles. That's my vision for London. Nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. Well, now we know your name. That's actually very helpful. It's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. But now they've the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. Uh-huh. One of those rich people, are you? What is the matter with the London police, I ask you? Alright, don't pass out. Mr. Naruhodo, perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was I after saying, you daft idiot? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry? I know what you're thinking. This chancer of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? 'Cause he did it. That's the only explanation. That's not what I was thinking, my guy. Well? Well... I am a lawyer. I have to have faith in my client. I don't think you did it. Not at all. Although, it is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean. That would be the fault of the Reaper. Ooh. That's in red. That's important. Who is this Reaper? Sorry, did he just say Reaper? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barock von Zykes. He's the prosecutor. Ooh. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When von Zykes stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. My accent is horrible for this man. I am so sorry. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached the desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness. Lord Baroque van Zykes. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor, then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel? That would be me. Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here. I'd made up my mind, so I had. Sorry? I decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance. Student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. I literally know nothing about the case or this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Mr. Naruhodo, the man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Something that Kazuman would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you'll lose your right to stand. I'll be right there. It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm gonna manage this. Oh, I was expecting a do you want to save to be continued thing. That's okay. I'm crazy. It's fine. 18th February, 10 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. Centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? So different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, what? I look so nervous. Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, I just can't help it. Judge jump scare. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared. Must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. He looks like a vampire, let's be fair here. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Hey, let's not be racist here. Culturally insensitive or whatever. Huh? Yeah, yes, of course, sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready. Frankly, not really. Because, we know nothing. And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Yeah, exactly. Those eyes please me. Nipponese. Don't that. Ugh. The way you say that makes me uncomfortable, and I'm not even Japanese. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ugh. A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. Oh, mood. He makes me uncomfortable too. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder. A capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows. I swear I can do words. Gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? Are all the British people going to be this mean? As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella is a student from some little island off in the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? His accent is just all over the place. I am so sorry. I'd like to think the acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear he donated £5,000 to the government? Mother, please, may we go and play in McGilded Park? Seems everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. Certainly welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. Surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Talk. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? I do not like the guy that's flipping a knife around. I don't like that. Makes me nervous. I like that the old lady there on the far, she's knitting. The guy with the knife looks like a slime ball though. But the rest of them are sort of neutral. The granny is cute, and the guy with the knife looks like a slime ball. Yes, my lord, if the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Heh, any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. Looks so smug. I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these bits for my grandson. So, Mr. Naruhodo, those people are the jury. Yes, that's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right, I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinion of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from two completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That I don't know, but I'm sure it'll become clear as the trial progresses. So, tutorial 2. Well, 3, technically. Tutorial 3. So the first tutorial was how the courtroom works, generally. The second was how to do the Sherlock Holmes deduction show. And then this one's about the jury. Prosecutor Van Zykes. Zeeks? Zykes. I'm sticking with Zykes. My lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy, rather than fame, I would say. Is it just me, or does he look like Miles? Like Edgeworth? Oh, whatever. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. Not beating the vampire accusations. Got it. So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today, of all days, to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. That would be fantastic, because I have no idea. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. Alright, shortly after 10, probably PM. Well, obviously PM. Brain. The victim was a maker of building bricks, known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mason. Sorry, Thrice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. Well, now I trust the juror with the knife even less. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. The autopsy report is in the court record. The photograph of the crime scene is in the court record. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Good lord! Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. Well, he could have been trying to stop the bleeding and save a life. That's a guess. What? Mr. McGilded's gloves had blood on them? Again, he could have been trying to stop the bleeding. Unlikely, but yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. The defendant's leather gloves have been entered into the court record. I feel like the fact that the bloodstains on the right glove is significant because McGilded might be a lefty. Backed into a corner before I've even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. Gosh, I wonder why the brickmaker's called Mason. The other, let me guess, our main man McGilded. Was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Whoa, wild. I don't trust the juror with the knife. Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Although the juror with a knife might be a red herring. Defendant, what say you? Well, of course I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it. Oh, he was napping. You claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilting, so it is. When I opened my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight before me. Body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in my life. Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I was about to start worrying about me. Well, I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? Reached out to give the man a hand. I said he might have been trying to stop the bleeding. Yeah, good Samaritan. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning. That's not all of it. There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. Despite there being literally only 3 people on the bus. The driver, the victim, McGilded. I am shortening omnibus to just bus. Order, order, order! When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage, and there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. Wow, this really feels like the first case, just again. Multiple witnesses to the moment of the crime, but I don't think the accused did it. Witnesses! Let's go. Oh, you're cold. Witnesses, your names and occupations. My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End. Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. My name's First. Lady First. I, make hats for gents. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the unfortunate incident. There were only 2 passengers. Was this just a passing omnibus? Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right. Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well then, let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it. Is First actually a woman? As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too. Unambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly, my lord. I thought there were only 2 passengers on this bus. Where'd these other goons come from? These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Is the question what I'm thinking, please? Yes, counsel. Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes? Well, in that case, how could those 2 witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. Hey look, a hole! How quaint. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Listen, it's my first day here! Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We, only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is. What do you mean? The actual scene? How? A carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. So that's how the room is moving. The runaway room. Yes? The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today, in this very building. What? The entire carriage? Bailiff. Bring forth the stricken omnibus. That's dramatic. That's also likely to become a vocal stim. Bring forth the stricken omnibus. Hey look! An omnibus. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. Oh my gosh. We're the victim and the killer on the top level of the omnibus. Can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. 4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Oh. I see. So those 2 were on the upper seats, and then they... Possibly. Uncertain. Ah, a skylight. Oh! The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. You're gonna lose your hat, my guy. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. That makes perfect sense. Well, Counsel, this is a first. All my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. Very well. I see no reason why not. The omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. The omnibus. Can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence. Great Britain is simply extraordinary. I helped myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Let us continue with the proceedings then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Pray, don't accept this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights. Deep breath, calm down. My first cross-examination in a British court. Let's go. Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus. It's the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well. Why were they next to each other? It's like they were the only 2 on the inside, and there's like 2 seats. Why were they next to each other? I'm gonna press... How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? McGilded is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget, when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. I legit forgot to actually read the dialogue for a hot second. I'm too interested. This is too interesting. There is no room for doubt here. Really wish there was. I mean, fair. There's enough going on that, yeah. I'm pressing every statement just because I know how to play a Phoenix Wright game. Or an Ace Attorney game, rather. Which does mean I should actually press this as well.
Hold it!
Sometime after 10, wasn't it? Yeah, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Ever so cold it was, sir. Freezing, in fact. But you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus, of course, though, no. And there were no other passengers when this incident took place? No one alighted, for example? You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that. No, none. So nobody fled the scene of the crime, then? I have to say, the boss insists on it running, he does. Excuse me, I want... Every evening, that last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. So I spend that much at the pub on the way back home, just trying to warm up again. Victim and the man accused of killing him were sat together on the bus, which I am aware. I pressed that statement already. On to the next. Out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
Hold it!
Pressing? You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Didn't I already testify to that? Or are fair dinkum hard-working city bankers just not considered trustworthy these days? Oh, no, I didn't mean that. This is no good. I've really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail, if that's... My lord? Juror number 3, what's the meaning of this? My mind's made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. I still don't trust this guy. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. He can't fool me. Oh. There's no point wasting time to listening any more of this. It's my opinion on the matter, anyway. Okay, so if I dither too much, do they just they just all vote? Is that how this game works? That is precisely what I was about to say. As the foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. Rigged. What the? What's happening here? Let me see. Ah, yes, it seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts. With fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. As the six members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it.
Hold it!
Alright. You screamed about a murder? You were sitting up on the roof deck? Yes, that's right. I was up on the roof streets. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out of his belly, that huge, great knife. Grim sight indeed. Yeah, what you screamed about. That didn't help at all. Jury looks like they're even more convinced my client did it than they were before. It appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilded is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Mr. First! Oh, yes, sir. Is this the knife you saw? Oh, good grief! Yes, that's it, the very one, sir! Is that? Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. Why do you have to be so vampire-y? That is a blade of considerable size, counsel. It is, and furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. Is it M? It's M, which seems oddly familiar. Please, no. M for Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly. Take your pick. Seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
But there are M's everywhere. Like, yes. Mason!
Objection!
Oh! I do like the fucking customized objection bubbles. This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Ugh. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. A largish knife. Fancy argumentation suggests it must be quite valuable. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. Ah, she's going black. Juror number 2, go on. Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman's words should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Wait, what are you about to... Dispose of the rubbish! Yeet. No. I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Oh, I hate this. Not again. That's 4 out of 6 jury members who've proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark. I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. We mustn't give up hope we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back. But... alright, I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too.
Hold it!
May as well press. What exactly did you see? Oh, well, sir, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was. And by the passenger, obviously you were referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker? And then the other passenger had the knife in his hand like this. By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. I'm sorry, was he stabbed twice? Single stab wound. Excuse me, sir. My lord, I wish to speak. Let me guess. Do I take it that you, too? As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is absolutely abhorrent to me. Wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No, please, just keep an open mind a little... Get up now, Silver Blaze! The finish is in sight. Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. This is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agreed to condemn this man. Yeah. Slumped in the seat, not lying on the floor, and there was only a single stab wound. There are holes. There are holes in both the victim and the case. I'm sorry, that was crude. Yes, dear. What can I do for you? You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand. Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know? Then, pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? Well, dear, the thing is, I am a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. McGilded Park, it's called. The gentleman donated to the city, you know? Put a smile on Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life. He's always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right, a man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely. Mother, may we go to the McGilded Public Library later and borrow some more books? How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know what kind of a man Magnus McGilded really is? Oh, is there a scandal? Is there a scandal afoot? What kind of a man is he? The philanthropist, Magnus McGilded, has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir. One with the very darkest of souls. The hell is a Shylock? I'm sorry, I'm looking something up. A loan shark. Ooh. Stone the crows! McGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He's a vulture that preys on the weak. I've never heard any mention of that before. Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? Unless he's bleeding money somehow. What possible reason could this man have had to make use of such a public omnibus service? You're not saying that. The victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name save some considerable financial liability. Will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known, the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious! The brickmaker was destitute. He'd lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it.
Hold it!
If I might add something briefly. Ooh. Go for it, Susato. Miss Susato? You claim the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded. But where is the evidence to support your claim? forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law. Aha, there it is. Lord Van Zykes' hallowed chalice. This is a thing? This is a thing he does? How can this be considered acceptable? But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself. Ah! Yeah, I know, jump scare. As judicial assistance to the defense, I am simply doing my job. What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You'll find the victim's name clearly recorded inside. Oh. Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time. A marvelous toast, Counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence. The debtor's ledger has been added into the court record. Yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. Let's have a look here. It's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally. Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. I wonder. I assure you we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside. Well, let's see what we find. Unfucking readable. It's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Goodness! What is it? Look at this. Do you see the name here? Bruce Fairplay. The banker? Does sound strangely familiar, actually. Why is his name in here? He borrowed 20 guineas. Look, the repayment date is fast approaching. It's possible this is just a coincidence, of course, but it could be very useful information. That is, in fact, very useful information. Part is the sheath, isn't it? You alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, sorry, yes. I just don't really like blades. Oh. Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's soul. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Shwink. Oh look, blood. Surprise, surprise. Oh. Yeah, that's an M. Although it could be... if you turned... Then again, there's no W's in the current case. There's no W's in the... I do wish we knew the name of the jurors. That looks a lot. That looks a lot like blood, probably because it is. An Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood. Really? It's just we've only just arrived here in Great. Blood is blood, my guy. That was so dumb. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Angrily knitting faster. Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused. It's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel. Still, maybe it's all for the best. Well, wait a minute. Let's think about this a little more. I don't stand for nonsense. Yeet. That felt rigged. I'm dead. Don't talk to me. I'm dead. That was it. The last juror's decision. Flip through those pages. According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. It's over then. Oh! There's a footnote, though. A footnote. However, the defense... All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. Thanks for cutting my counsel off. Don't you bow at me. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections. Hi, I object. Mr. Sato, just tell me one thing. Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before? The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. I demand a summation examination of the jurors, please and thank. A summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination? From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected? Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. Yeah, well, I will have to insist, because my guy, it's a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck. Oh. What even is it, Miss Sasha? This so-called summation examination. Oh, one moment. I'll read about it. Alright. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails? Huh. Typical Nipponese. You were all for us, like, at the beginning there, though. Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. Oh, you are a speed reader. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury. To do what exactly? Change their votes? Appeal them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. It says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Yeah, we have to do that. Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. That procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really, so it rather fell out of use. I wonder why. The guy across the courtroom from us, probably. Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age. Listen, I'm self-respecting, and I'm going to go, hey, please, give me that thing. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? Suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Summation examination, our last possible option. Do we assert our right or admit defeat? I will assert my right. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
Hey. London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried. Are you the defense? No. You don't get a say.
Objection!
But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's position is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. Woohoo! This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Eh? Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so... All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot. This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before. I don't really hold with all this justifying lark. That seems to have thrown the jurors off. It seems none of them have experienced this before. Well, they can deal. Alright then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Just maybe. Might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around. I just realized I forgot to do something before I started the stream. Anyway, back to this. So be it then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of this most serious crime. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. Then how did you get a total of 20 pence out of 4 passengers? Scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. Beggar's belief. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. Have to throw everything I can at them. Use some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heart-warming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. However, if I can pull one of their reasonings and push it against a different guy, in fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. What on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear, I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work, then? Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make their arguments. What do you mean? The 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. See, so it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. The defense's rebuttal. He is an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. How'd you get 4 passengers for 20 pence then? Because if it was, it would be 16.
Objection!
Math! The 2 statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, counsel. Me? Oh dear, what have I said? I swear on Silver Blaze's main and name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right, I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. You've got an extra 4 pence there. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man, why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication... Oh! It would be 16 pence! Gasp, math. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact, or precisely 1 person's fare. 1 person's fare. Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious! This can't be right! The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword. The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I beg your pardon! Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Gasp! All right then, how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end, Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales. Now, hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo! I'm sorry, I just love the guy's name is Beppo. This is all very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Evening out the scales. For the love of Mike! Not you as well. Who's Mike? A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it. If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. Turned and stabbed him like this, or stabbed him on the ground. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. And that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly. You can do it. Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavily on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. Alright. He's stabbing off to the side. She was stabbing down.
Objection!
Those 2 statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel, post-haste. Oh, dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half. How small is your other half? What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? If you don't know basic words, you should go back to school. Anyway. We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can't you see I'm busy here? Well, that's what you get for sticking your knife in the desk. How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want to test me, do you? It's like this. Stuck the fella next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do you for, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. Now don't move. Take a look at these 2 jurors. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What? Bless my stitches, what a muddle. What this tells us is there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. And I'd laid good money on it being Beppo. Oh! But why? Why the dickens would they lie? Get away with something, probably? I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen? In all good conscience. Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies. The scales have evened. The scales! I don't believe it. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. I'm being very persuasive. Of course they can listen to me. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. Again, with the accusations of magic. My tricks, apparently. I'll be right back. Okie dokie. I'm a devious Eastern sorcerer. Second time I've been accused of being a sorcerer. Using tricks. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, dark jinx. Eh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and then the Shylock stabbed him again. This old lady saw him do it. What's to say it didn't happen like that, The autopsy! That's what's to say. Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you. Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you. They're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? No. The autopsy. That the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime. Single stab wound. Just the one. I mean, really. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you dark jinx? Out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. Looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I have evidence. I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question the two witnesses saw different moments of the exact same crime, as proven by the autopsy report. I pressed the wrong button.
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once. Eh? Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen 2 different times. Where'd your knife go? Alright, I concede defeat. Where'd your knife go? That's the sorcerer! Four jurors are now leaning to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won! We haven't won yet, Susato. We still have to prove who the hell did it. we've won a continuation of the case. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir! Oh, his knife's back. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said, shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every... Oh, you have a hair because you have a knife because you're a barber. Shave every last hair off his head. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate. And the trial must continue! I'm a winner. I'm not a winner quite yet. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. Yay! Continuation of the case. So, Lord Van Zykes, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution if you please. Well, now he's not in good humor. That's a drink for moral support for the guy. Oh, never mind! Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice, really not beating the vampire allegations that are in my mind. It may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray, forgive the discourtesy. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets! Have at you! Lord Van Zykes! It's cold in here, is it just me? As your antiquated tome, no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. So I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. Seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. What is it with the prosecutors and being like smug assholes, by the way? It's like, good gosh. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Off comes the cape! He's getting serious, there's no more cape. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Witnesses. I trust you heard the summation examination we've just had to endure. Oh, yes, sir. That I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir. I heard it. You, sir, on the end. The coachman. I believe it's Beppo. Still love the name. Yes, sir. My lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony you were attempting to veil the presence of a 5th passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You're advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh, mio Dio. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. They appear slightly more nervous now. I only carried 4 passengers that night. I swear it, but, well, for one, I was told I had to pay 5p for the bus. He fiddled us on the fare, he did, and I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so. Yes. Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little... I'm looking up how to pronounce this. Cousinage. He's fraud. He's skimming off the top a little bit. Beppo! Explain yourself. I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster. The guild's fare is 4p across the board. You know that. Am I to understand you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare? It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. Your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild. If I may, sir, I had to pay 10p on the bus just last week. What? 4 passengers at 5p each is, yes, 20p. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. Math is math. It at least got us a chance to... No, that figures. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. Cousinage. What a word. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Well, listen, if a defense lawyer can't trust in their client, who can they trust? Absolutely. You look nervous. You seem nervous about this, so I'm gonna just...
Hold it!
Earlier, you testified you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Oh, yes, that's right. You said the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip. I suppose I might have, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe. What's this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Then when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. That's right, yes, and the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes. So in short, you didn't see the moment the victim was actually stabbed at all. I really thought that I did, but... Boy, that feels similar to the first case. But when I go over it again in my head... No, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I? Oh, That's a reaction.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now, you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer cleverly. You've just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed. Unlikely. Why would he be looking through? And also, he might have been on the front seat, which doesn't have a direct view into the skylight. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through the skylight on the top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember as clear as Ballarat Day. As a what day? Me just having Google open to play this game. What's a Ballarat Day? Oh, that's a city in Australia. Yeah, they'd probably have some pretty clear days. Considering Australia's weather patterns. Was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that all right. Tell you just how grim it was. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hand after the butcher stabbed that man? So are these the blood-soaked hands you saw? Because he was wearing gloves? So they weren't really blood-soaked hands, more blood-soaked gloves. But...
Objection!
blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit that soaked, maybe laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. I love the way he rests his hand on the sword. That's fun. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. There certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Why are you... In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. But, no! This can't be right. So you're the liar here, then. You're going to hurt your teeth doing that, my guy. That's right, you were quite clear about it. You said, it was both hands! I can't wait to see you break that. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection!
Yes, Mr. Vampire. It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. It wasn't both hands, it was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood, quote, all over both hands. Which means there's a strong possibility this witness is deliberately lying to mislead the court. And given his reactions when I'm calling it out... Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. A gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. Looking up another word. Lie. Okay. Just say lie. If you're gonna... Just say lie. He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case? Mr. Naruhodo, we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying. What could that be, perhaps? Could turn the tide in this trial completely. Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. I have evidence! My lord? Yes, counsel? The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had a reason to lie in his testimony. Gah! Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Take that!
This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Oh, that startled everyone! What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Ah, well, whatever. Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have something you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Ag. Yeah, chew on that. Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord? Let me ask you again. And be aware your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you, or did you not, see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. Alright, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilded's hands. Both of them. Well then, how is there only blood on one glove, good sir?
Objection!
And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying. Oh. Should I be pursuing a different witness? I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure it was on both of his hands, not just one. And yet... And yet, only one glove was stained, so how does that work out? wasn't very dramatic. Would appear we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yars. Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes, I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. Witness testimony. What they really saw. Blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no. Not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. Well, lo and behold. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and even the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating as evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. How is it still fresh? In other words, there's no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. It's... Scene of a murder, it's horrible. How is it still fresh? It's been like 3 days. Blood that's soaked into the seat, the victim's. That seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. To really stab someone in full view. It was after dark. There was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight. Doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. That feels important. Only just wide enough for 2 gentlemen to sit side by side. Of course, an Englishwoman would be dressed, gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery, it would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the reef deck. She would have to be seated in here. A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they? Yes. Yes, they are. What's this handle thingy? Seat has a handle. I found secrets! Well, luggage. All sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. Feeding tubs, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. It's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things. Doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure. I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway. And then this one doesn't have a handle. There's that skylight. Anyway, I've done a wee bit of investigation. Ha! I'm sorry, I just turned that around and just... welcome to the Phoenix Wright Omnibus, apparently. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting it to be called the Phoenix Wright Omnibus. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. There's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. It's not good for us. I've investigated the omnibus. Why is the blood fresh? Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. Cross-examination. What the witnesses really saw. Anyway, pressy press.
Hold it!
Press like I'm making juice. Well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless. I know what I saw, and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands. He's defiant, even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit he might be mistaken about what he saw. But why? Your reasoning is dire. Well, the situation is dire, so... One hand or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused's fingers. Pressing. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as well you know. But for crying out loud, we all know no one else could have possibly done it. I was just trying to save us all time. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Oh, we're going over this again. Woohoo! Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? Well, yeah. It's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea, or 10, when I backed the wrong horse in the Derby, that's all. Was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend that's a sure thing. A little guinea, or 10. I'm a banker. No one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. You're a very financially irresponsible banker, I think. I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. This witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness. Is that really how it's supposed to work? Pressing! Press, press, press. Definitely saw that too? Blood on both hands? Yes, sir? I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGilded's gloves has any signs of blood on it. That's right. The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilded sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves? That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true, the dark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilded's gloved hands. There wasn't blood on his hands? This is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow. I'm sure of it. Didn't actually see anything myself, no. Not until I heard that scream.
Hold it!
Pressing? You didn't see anything? Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. Very sorry about what I said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me for me to make up stories and say I saw him stab the man. Wouldn't you agree, sir? I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Can my fucking model stop breaking? One moment. Technical difficulties, please stand by. Away goes my face for a second. Wow, I'm back. Look at that. I am unscuffed. I have repaired the scuff. Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? No, sir, I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London's streets, no? Oh, please. You didn't even see that? It was so cold that night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my head was fairly frozen solid. Sorry to say, sir. Is that why you're all bundled up? Are you still cold? Are you a cold boy? Would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights. Beppo! Ah! Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside of that carriage, or we all would have seen. Pressure.
Hold it!
And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus? That's right, it was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh, yes, I remember, I was shivering, it was so bitter. Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked? That's right! It's a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. I can assure you, I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring, long and hard. I'm sure you were rather pissed. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. Are you like 1,000,000% sure? I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? Maybe not. It did mostly just show the one bench where the victim was. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight for you. What? By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. At the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
You shut your trap. Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Well, in the wooden frame, but... Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting this potential extra passenger could have been situated? Now see, if they were sitting here, they would have seen down here. However, seeing down here would have been a much more difficult proposition. Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other. Which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here. Ah! That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Objection!
Hi. You have opinions. It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. Revealing the truth through ambiguity, I think you mean. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. Well, it's not conjecture. My question is, why would the defendant be seated right next to the... I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learnt. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. This could be it. This could be the chance I'm waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view, betcha $5 it was Mr. McGilded himself. 'Cause the polite thing to do on a bus is what? Not sit next to someone if there's open seats. There were open seats. And Mr. McGilded might have been having a polite conversation about the debt owed.
Take that!
And what kind of conversation would that be if they were not sitting face to face? Passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. Mr. McGilded? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant! That's the point.
Objection!
A miserable little pile of secrets! If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zykes! People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
Your premise is false. But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claim there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night. A third party we have yet to identify. This really does feel like the first case. There's like, oh, there was an extra person who actually killed the victim. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands. Both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary. What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. Tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. Really, hatters tend to notice when people have hats. Surprise. Although I'm sure it's not just hatters that tend to notice that. Hats are pretty obvious. Considering yours is about to fall off. And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. Oh, hatters tend to notice the hats. And yet... And you call yourself a hatter? The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be sure? Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. What if... blackmail? What if that? Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. Listen, my explanation is what if blackmail? I think that's a perfectly feasible explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. Oh wait, he said he was asleep. He said he was asleep the whole time. And like, extra person could have ducked out a window or something. Ah. First off, he said he was asleep the whole time. Second off, my initial proposition of what if blackmail. He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Order? It's clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police. What if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? What if blackmail? Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. What if blackmail? If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for defense, what is your opinion? My opinion is what if blackmail. I'm going to repeat that. My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? We should probably have him testify just in case. We need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. This isn't a classroom. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say. Get the man out here, I say. It'd be utterly illogical to not hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say. Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. We can only hope. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? To be sure I have, my lord. There are now 2 matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin, as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police? Becat, no, 'tis not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all, or keep my mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGilded? The fine fella representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true? Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You... what? No, Magnus McGilded, that convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zykes. Sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was? Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Oh, it's a little girl. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. And who was this young child of which you speak? That I don't know. You don't know? Aye, well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. Never saw her before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. Prosecution calls for the witnesses' statements to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. Oh. Fire! There's a fire! Someone's trying to get away! After them! It's no use! I can't see anything through all the smoke. What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff! Don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. Did the omnibus go away on an adventure? We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff, amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Oh, to be continued next week. Next Friday, we'll pick this back up. I have done my practice with Bongo Bongo. I have secured Epona. I've gained another bottle and another fairy. And we'll see on Monday if I can put my practice to the test with some more Ocarina of Time. I will see everybody then.